Hey everybody, super exciting day today because check it out. There's a new minivan behind me. I don't know about you, but I love minivans. I just think they're so cool. I love seeing the way the manufacturers incorporate huge amounts of space into, a relatively compact design. So in this episode, we are taking a look at the new 2021 Toyota Sienna. This is the XSE trim, and I'm gonna have to get my little helper here because he is not happy. One sec. Now, quite honestly, the Toyota Sienna can impress me, but the one it really has to impress is Blaze, my puppy. Come here, Blaze. Come here, buddy. What do you think of the exterior design? Well, it's very different than the outgoing Sienna. You definitely have this Toyota trend of the huge grille that extends the entire width of the vehicle. And one of the more interesting attributes is this right here. Zach, do you want to zoom in on that? Do you see the blue? Well, in Toyotas, that means that this vehicle is electrified in some ways. It's either a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. And in fact, every new 2021 Sienna comes standard as a hybrid. Let's talk about what's under the hood. So the previous generation Sienna had a 3.5 liter V6, around 300 horsepower. It was quite a powerful beast, and it was mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The new Sienna has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder mated to electricity through an ECVT. The rating on this vehicle, total system output 245 horsepower. So a lot less power than the outgoing one, but fuel economy is pretty impressive. This one is all-wheel drive, and Toyota estimates 35 mpg combined, which is pretty darn good. Now, let me know what you think of the exterior design in the comments section below. It's definitely interesting. A lot of Corolla in the headlights with this little cutout. But the most important part of the minivan is how the back seat works. And for that, I'm gonna need my buddy Blaze. Let's see if he'll come. He's busy chewing on a stick. Blaze, touch, touch. Good boy. All right, let's see what you think of the back seat, Blaze. So to get in, look at this, Blaze. There's a little kick sensor. I simply kick underneath the sill, and there's the back seat, super low liftover height. So if you've got a baby, for example, like this fur baby, you can lift them up. Your hands are completely full. You gotta close the door. You can kick under the sensor. The door closes just like that. Or of course, if you don't want to kick, you can just pull the handle. Oop, Blaze, you just snagged the mic. Pull the handle, and in they go. Now this is probably the coolest part of the Sienna, the back seat. This is the XSE trim, and it's equipped with captain's chairs back here, but check out what they can do. First of all, in this position, I have a lot of legroom, but if I pull this lever, ready? Whoa, look at that! I'm 6 foot 1 inch tall, and I can extend my legs fully. That's incredible! This is like business class, first class levels of comfort back here. Now, you're probably thinking, well, shouldn't they have included some kind of footrest? They did. On the top trim Siennas, they actually have this little ottoman that folds out, and then and then you can use them as a footrest. I, of course, have the dog, so that's the other solution. If you don't want to pay extra for a footrest, get yourself a Bernese Mountain Dog puppy, and they'll do the same exact thing. Now, these seats actually also recline, so not only do they slide, but you pull this lever. Dude, this is killer. This is why I love minivans. As a kid, there would be no better vehicle. Growing up, we had Volvos, and the kids with the minivans, they were always having the most fun because they could have all sorts of shenanigans and parties back there. So, power door, of course, on the side. Let's check out the trunk. This also has the kick sensor. I find it much harder to use. You have to do what a producer calls the river dance to get it to open. Shoot, I just confused it. But anyways, it is a power lift gate, and when it folds open, you'll see huge amounts of space. What do you think of this area, Blaze? You're kind of an expert at crawling into small places. Oh, I think you love it, don't you? But I am going to need to put up the third row, so you're going to have to get out of here for just a sec. Come on, buddy. There you go. Now the third row on this new Sienna is much easier than the previous generation. Simply pull up on this big lever, it folds forward, and then grab this handle, and it's stuck on the front seat. One moment. But pull this upward like that, and you can see what the space looks like behind the third row of seats? There's a ton of it. I mean, really, come on, space demonstrator, I need you for a sec. This is a 43-pound Bernese Mountain Dog. Stick him back there. Look at all the space you have back there, buddy. It's huge, huh? Yeah, that's a happy dog right there. That definitely gets a pass. So let's see what the legroom looks like when you actually are sitting in the third row of seats. So the front seat can do this kind of funny contour motion, pull up on the lever here. And now I have tons of access to the third row. You know, it's actually pretty good back here. It really is. Even if I fold this back, still have enough room. Well, of course, slide it back a little bit. That's kind of unrealistic. Zach, can you pull that lever?
Yeah.
Give it a tug.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Yeah, huge amounts of space back here. It's awesome. Even enough headroom, which is pretty good. This one has 4-zone automatic climate control, so the rear passengers here have additional climate zones, and on some models, the high-spec ones, there's an 11.6-inch infotainment screen that is optional. So Zach, why don't you hop into the passenger seat and we'll take a look at the frontal area. This is a huge improvement over previous generation Toyota Siennas. Let me start it up. Push button start, of course. And there's no sound because it's a hybrid. Standard hybrid, which is pretty cool. You can see Sienna XSC there in the center. It's in EV mode right now, so it's absolutely silent. But primary focal piece in here, 9-inch touchscreen display. Very large display. It's super crisp, very clear. I personally find it really easy to use. You know, audio functions there. This one, of course, has navigation. The navigation system's looking a little old, but it is pinch to zoom. Great system. Toyota has nailed their infotainment. Right below that, you'll see the climate controls here. This one has the 4-zone automatic, so you've got zones for driver and passenger, and then also rear settings as well. Let me turn down the rear fan there. More permanent buttons over here for on, off, etc., and even heated seats in this model. And then this shifter, you'll notice PR and D, there's a sport mode, and there's even like a manual setting. I say manual because it has an ECVT, but you can kind of work through the gears if you're up for a little bit of spirited driving. Now your phone has this great little tray right there for wireless charging, which I love. And just the amount of cubbies in here is truly awesome. So you'll notice there's this huge cubby that extends the width of the vehicle. Cup holders are insane, 16 standard cup holders. So we have 2 up here. Underneath this little panel, we have 2 additional. And then in the rear here, another massive cubby. And underneath the actual center stack, look at this. It just extends. There's just a massive area here for purses or bags. Seats are extremely comfortable, very supportive as well. I mean, the vans have such a bad stigma, but it really is the ultimate road trip vehicle. Let me know what you think of this new interior design. I think it's so much better. This one, of course, is missing some options. So like the Limited or the Platinum, it has a really cool optional, what do you call that? Vacuum cleaner that would extend here to clean up your puppy fur. But such a usable, comfortable place to spend time. You'll notice also extreme amounts of USB. 7 USB ports are standard in the Sienna. There's also more up here on the dash. They're just littered throughout the cabin. This one has the premium audio system, JBL 12 speakers. Pricing has not yet been announced, so I don't know how much this costs. Driving impressions are still embargoed, so I can't quite tell you how it drives, but if it drives any you know, in any kind of way that it looks on the inside here, it's going to be really smooth and really comfortable, so I'm excited to get behind the wheel. I like the perforated leather steering wheel here as well. This one you can see has the full suite of Toyota safety systems, which is great because they all do now. One of the best features on the new Toyotas is just how much usability they bake into the safety systems. And are you ready for the list? I have my cheat sheet here. It's a little bit intense, the amount of stuff that you get. So pre-collision system, pedestrian detection, lane departure alert, steering assist with lane departure assistance, high auto beams, full speed dynamic radar cruise control. That's all included. I think that this is an incredible improvement over the previous generation. Let's bring it on out and close her up. I think he's a little bit scared.
Come on, buddy.
Come on, Blaze. Blaze, touch. Good boy. Now you get a treat. See how that works? Sit down for the camera. Sit. Sit. Come on, sit. Oh, come on. Anyways, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I can't quite give it a rating because we haven't taken it out on the road, but be sure to stay tuned for that. And be sure to stay tuned here to the Fast Lane Now, because right over there is a 2021 Odyssey, and tomorrow we're going to have a full look at that one as well. And then over at the Fast Lane car, Nathan, who is much better on camera and much better looking than me, is going to compare them. But anyways, this was a super fun look at the new 21 Sienna. I think Blaze loved it. He's over the moon. He's a Toyota dog, I think. So we'll see what he's like when we get him in Honda. But anyway, stay tuned to TFL Car and TFL Now for the latest and greatest in minivan reviews, because the future of the minivan looks bright.